Hello sailors, this is the Dodgy Kebab, and I know what some of you are thinking.
Why you gotta play that song so loud? Because we want to, because we want to. Why always run around in crowds? Because we want to, because we want to.
So stop thinking about that and start thinking about this. The portal in the Stormwind canals that was always off limits. No doubt many of you have heard rumours that it was going to be for player housing of some sort. For most people, well, it's always just been that, a popular rumour. Well, I've dug up some concrete information on it. But before we look at that, I also want to look at another locked off area in Stormwind, because otherwise this video will be light on content and a bit short. And frankly, that's not how you go about making ad revenue. So let's also look at what it sometimes gets confused with, and that's this, the Stormwind Vault. In lore, it's a place where they lock up beings that are too powerful to kill. I mean, why wouldn't you capture beings that are so strong you can't kill them? Stick them in a building that's right in the centre of your capital city, literally meters from people's houses. Anyway, this disaster waiting to happen was planned PvE content, and if you use GM commands, you can get inside. The art assets are mainly the same as the Stormwind stockades, although the layout is totally different. It's a series of rooms that are linked together by very short passages. After quite a few of these rooms, the instant ends with what appears to be some sort of boss room. So that was the Stormwind Vaults, but I did say this video was about another locked off portal, so let's have a look at that. So here, in a much nicer part of the town, we have this gated off portal. If we use GM commands to get to the other side of the gate, even if you touch the portal, it doesn't do anything. Plus, we can see that there's nothing round if you try and have a look around the corners. So what was Blizzard intending this to be? Well, there's actually a concrete answer given many years ago during a Q&A session and printed on Blizzard's website. Using Wayback Machine, we can see that a Blizzard community manager actually does answer the question of their plans at the time for player housing and the state that this portal was planned to take the players to their houses. But the big question is, what would this have looked like? Now, although there are files in the game actually under a section called player housing, doesn't really tell us the actual functions of what would happen. But I think if we look at another game from the same era, it might give us an idea of what it would have been. And we all know that Blizzard took a lot of inspiration from other MMOs at the time while World of Warcraft was being developed. And there was another game at the time that did have player housing that was instant, with its entrance being in the capital city. That was Final Fantasy XI Online. You had what was known as a Mog House. You would be in your home capital city and you'd run to your Mog House instance, and this would take you to your own house. Although really it was just a single room with your own personal Moogle inside. You remember Moogles? You remember those crazy little things from Final Fantasy VII? That's in. Here you could place furniture that you had created or bought. You could display special furniture items that showed that you had beaten a certain monster or part of the game. You could invite your friends over for a house party, but you could also grow plants that would yield special crystals that had gameplay benefits. The Stormwind Player House portal and the Final Fantasy XI Mog House portal are very similar in design, so I think that Blizzard had this in mind when they started toying with the idea of playing housing in World of Warcraft. Of course, they never got that far with the idea, and by cataclysm, the portal was removed altogether. But in Warlords of Draenor, Blizzard did add garrisons into the game. So that's it. The portal was 100% intended to be for player housing. Some of you may have already known that, but I know there will be a lot that didn't know it was confirmed. Anyway, that's it. How about?